How you doing? And welcome to Neither Real Music. I'm Ed, and this is Just Play It. My song series dedicated to arrangements I've created for songs that I've liked that you can learn and play along with. If you've been following along, we are working on Autumn in New York by Vernon Duke. In this video, we're going to check out measures 5 through 8. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe. Ring the bell so that you know when your next lesson is happening. Let's take a look at measures 5, 6, 7, and 8. So in measure number 5, we're going to be starting by building a G minor 7 chord in 5th position. We're going to be using the notes G, D, F, and A. My A is the melody note, so you could sort of think of this as a G minor 9 chord. So when we put this idea together, our melody is going to go we're effectively arpeggiating most of the chords. So A, G, F, D, but I want you to play the bass note with it. We're going to go to that same A minor 7 mock-up that we did in our first couple of measures. So we're going to be playing our A, our G, and our C in 5th position as a little bar across our middle strings. From here, we're going to arpeggiate our chord. So G, D, F, B flat. You could do this with individual fingers, or you could play it all with your thumb. So when we put that idea together, that's our first measure and half of our second measure. So our first measure sounds like this. And our second measure starts. And from here, we're going to move up to the bottom part of a C7 chord. First time we did it as a bar sequence where I had C on the bass line. But I want to get rid of that idea and just play the 3 chordal notes of E, G, and D. So technically, once again, we're mocking a C9 chord. We lift our D to get to our melody note C. So our second measure sounds like this. If we put those two measures together, they sound like this. Now what I'd like to try to do is build this still almost as a bar. You don't have to bar the whole entire thing like you're playing the full C7 chord, but if you just get these 3 strings, it'll make building this chord a lot easier. Okay. When we get to our third measure, I have added some ideas to this melody because originally the melody only went, which was 2 long half notes. So what I tried to do is put in a melody note that played with those notes like this. So we have some 8th note ideas that are alternating between the D and C. We move up a string for our A to G. And from here, I just build a D7 chord. Once again, I've added to this idea where I want the melody line to help connect to our original melody line without impeding it, without standing over it. So I took my pinky and I added in the notes. Which gives this beautiful melody that connects to our next measures, which we'll learn in the next video. When we put these two ideas together, we have our A minor 7 flat 5 chord, something you want to remember about all of these sections is your bass line needs to continuously ring. You don't want your bass line to just die. It can't just disappear. That means that the idea needed to connect multiple chords together suddenly isn't there, and it feels like there's too many pieces of empty space. So as we put this section together, measures 5 through 8, it sounds like this. So from here, what I'm going to do is we're going to add a little time to this idea so that you can play along, and you're going to have a tablature to follow along with. This way you could have something to practice. Let's take a look at this with some time and a tab. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's take a look at that with a tab. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you're learning through each one of these videos one by one, please remember that you should be connecting everything. So as you become comfortable and memorize measures 1 through 4, you want to eventually add it to measures 5 through 8. So this way you can start constructing the whole song. I hope videos like this are really helping you become a better player. Talking about the chords should help you become familiar with these ideas more in depth. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Compliments are nice, but questions let me know that you're working on these things and that you appreciate them. Please remember to subscribe and ring the bell so that you know when your next lesson is coming. Every subscription helps tremendously, and I'm really trying to grow this channel. If you'd like more in-depth ideas, check out my Patreon, where $1 a day could really help me start producing a lot more content for you guys. You can even ask questions, and maybe I can make a video directed specifically towards that question. Good luck and good practice.